Hi everyone, it's Spurs Rail 96 here. Hope you're doing well out there. Welcome to another Train Sim World live stream. For today's live stream, we're taking a look, or I'm taking a look at one of the newish routes that's recently been released for Train Sim World, and that is another version of the Northeast Corridor. This time set within the area of New York City, known as Northeast Corridor Metro North. So let's get into it and see what this route has to offer. So we will dive into the timetable first of all. As always, it comes with 5 scenarios, 2, I think, training modules. So this is the timetable. What's included with the route is the Amtrak ACS 64 electric locomotive that does the semi-fast passenger services on the route, so Northeast Regional, Vermont passenger services, and the occasional deadhead move service as well. You also get the Metro North Railroad M8 electric multiple unit, which is the only new train that's coming with this route. Like new as in we've never experienced before in Train Sim World. And then you also get the return of CSX once again. Don't worry about the training center version that's on display there. It's a bug. Surprise, surprise. You get the CSX ST40-2, which you can see there. And that does some local freight services in the area, which is pretty cool. All the other stuff is layers, to put it bluntly. So you got the Amtrak Acela Express, which of course you will need the Amtrak Acela Express DLC. That will operate Acela Express services from New York Penn Station to Stamford. The NJ Transit ALP 46 electric locomotive that also does a deadhead move, interestingly, and mostly empty stop moves in and out of New York Penn Station to Sunnyside Yard, vice versa. You get the occasional football extra or soccer extra service from New York Penn to Stamford. Actually, it's just one, isn't there? Yeah. And I imagine the same applies for the multi-level NJ Transit cab car. So yeah, deadhead runs, a football extra service, and yeah, just empty stop moves and the occasional deadhead service, really. The Metro North multiple units, the M3A, MTA, and the M7A, both in Metro North livery, of course. Sadly, that does not come included with the Metro North Railroad. It doesn't come with the Northeast Corridor Metro North standard, which is a bit of a shame. I thought, hence the very steep price tag. They would be bundled in or something like that, but unfortunately that's not proven to be the case, especially as they play quite a bit of a key role almost on the New York Harlem Line section of this route heading into Grand Central Terminal. So if you have the New York Harlem Line route from Train Sim World 2, these will be layered into this route and operate quite a large variety of services. Well, the M3A operates only 25, but the M7A and the M3A combined, that's a fair big chunk of services there. And what they do is go up and down the section of the Harlem Line that's included from this route, from Grand Central to Botanical Gardens, the little spur going off to Yankees E105th Street, Fordham's. There's a bit of variety of stopping services there. If you haven't got the New York Harlem Line and you want to give this a go, maybe that's an option. But for those that have the New York Harlem Line, you will be able to operate these services, and it's pretty much familiar territory. So we're going to take the Metro North M8 electric multiple unit out for a spin. And then what's a service I think I've done before? Unless I didn't complete it, or unless the game didn't register as being completed. Yeah, the 906 service. That's one I did earlier. So I think we'll pick one right in the middle of rush hour. Give this route a bit of a workout. And I think we will go from... trying to think here. That's a semi-fast express service, local service, express service. I'm trying to find a local one ideally. That's New Rochelle. Here's one. That's express train. Let's pick that local one. That one there. That's a semi-fast express as well. That one there. Local service from Stamford to Grand Central Terminal. Roughly in the heart of, rush hour and all that kind of stuff. We'll set it to May, add a bit of cloud as always. And let's dive into it. So this route is quite expensive. I suppose quite is an understatement. In the UK it's £32.99, which is an awful lot for a Dovetail product. Let me remind you, this is not like something brand new that we've never seen before. We've had previous iterations of the North East Corridor. We've even had versions of this route portrayed in the distant past, which I'll explain on the map in a second. So for it to be that kind of price point is a bit bizarre to me. Normally those kind of prices are reserved for routes that are set in new countries, like a new route set in the Czech Republic, the first Dutch route in Train Sim World, and among some brilliant third-party routes from Just Trains and Train Sim Germany. So I don't know why this is at that particular price. I think in the US, that's what? Is it $45 or something like that? Or $43-ish? I'm not too sure regarding what the price is in US currency. But anyway, we're taking control of the 7:49 a.m. local service from Stamford to Grand Central Terminal. And we actually got to take the train out of the sidings here. So, we'll switch it on first of all, the master key. Set it to forward. Set the master controller to the maximum braking position, which will charge the brakes up, which you can see there. Headlights are set to the markers. We will set them on to the dim setting. Sadly, due to I think brand requests, let's say, of that is the Metropolitan Transport Authority that, let's say, owns or runs the Metro North and Long Island Railroad services within the area of New York, and I imagine a bit of New Jersey as well, maybe, is that before you could fully charge the brakes manually, and also there was this panel back here which enables you to do a full cold start. So if you want to just switch everything off from the back wall, you can, and pretty much start it up from a cold start. But I think the brand MTA does not like players doing that for some stupid reason. So in order for Dovetail to obtain the license, they've had to basically cover up the panel so you can't do any cold starts, or switch the safety systems on or off. So this is again another route that has MTA traction whereby the safety systems are always on. You have no choice to turn one off or all of them off. It is on by default. So you have no choice, but you have to get used to operating this route with the safety systems fully enabled. That doesn't apply to the Amtrak stuff though, so that's something. The cab ceiling light will turn off, the gauge lights were set to maximum, indicator light dim was set that to 100%. Okay. Right, let's withdraw from the station. Off and running. Oh, maybe not. I literally just found out there was a red signal right in front of us. Can we go yet? No, we have to wait for the signal to clear. So, okay, so this is a train that is, what's it doing? Is it waiting to go? Stamford to Grand Central Terminal. So that's the train that's, I suppose, literally by inches almost, I'd say, is kind of in our path. So that, I suppose, is priority? I'm not actually sure. So we have to wait for the time being. If there's a train, I think that's just about to leave, going to New York, so New York Penn maybe. So this is the map. So why I think this route is crazily overpriced is because we've had versions of almost, let's say, half of this route in Train Sim World before. So this section here, that is the New York Harlem line which we've had before. So all of that on the left hand side, that is the New York Harlem line that runs into Grand Central Terminal. We've also had from this part of the Northeast Corridor, which is New Rochelle, all of the way to New York Penn. That was previously on a route known as Northeast Corridor New York, which was discontinued many years ago because I think Dovetail tried some new building techniques to try and, I don't know, make route building or route construction easier, or I generally have no idea. But for whatever reason, that route was shelved. It's the only route in Train Sim World history which has never been ported over to other versions of Train Sim World, but now Dovetail has decided to resurrect it from the dead, redo the route entirely from scratch, and so the Northeast Corridor New York has come back to life. So you've got a route that Dovetail abandoned many years ago, brought back to life, and you've got a section of the New York Harlem line which came out over 3 years ago, or 4 years ago in fact, and then the section from New Rochelle all of the way to Stamford, that is brand spanking new, as in we've never seen it before. So yeah, it's a bit of a mixed match of a new section, a route we've already got, and then a very old route that was resurrected from the dead. So again, I don't think it merits that price point as a route, and plus it's not exactly a long route. I mean, if you add, say, the entirety of this route combined, it equates to 54 miles. Now that might sound like a lot, but if you were on the Northeast Corridor, for example, going from Stamford to New York Penn, I think that's like, what, 21-ish miles? It's not a lot. And again, for the price point, it just doesn't make sense to me. I think they should have extended it to New Haven. There's a version of this route in Train Simulator that was launched well over a decade ago, and yet that one goes all the way to New Haven, whereas this one, for some bizarre reason, only goes as far as Stamford. But we've been given clearance to withdraw from the siding, so let's go. So we've got to stop at platform 3 at Stamford. Oh, maybe not. I actually just didn't look where I was going. We'll start again. We'll start again. Because I was busy explaining and doing that kind of things, mumbling on. Should have been a bit more on the marks there. Never mind. Anyway. Okay, game. Let's try that again. Do the same startup procedure as I did before, albeit a bit quicker this time. Cab ceiling light off, gauge light set to maximum, indicators set to 100%. What else can you mess around in this cab? That's going backwards. Yeah. So obviously you've got the door controls there, snow brake. Right, we can go. Let's go. So that train recently must have terminated at Stamford, scuttled back into the sidings, and then literally turned around, I imagine, the engineer, and headed back into Stamford. It's a pretty quick turnaround. Okay, so at least we're in front of the queue to come back into Stamford. Anyway, this is the main star of the show, the Metro North M8 electric multiple unit in Metro North red and silver livery, so it's nice to have a different colour operating Metro North services instead of the usual blue and silver. We have a tinge of red, which is pretty cool. So, some statistics of the M8 rail car. It first entered service in 2011, replacing the older M2, 4 and M6 multiple units. 465 were built, 220 married pairs, that's 25 single cars, and has a capacity of over 100 seats in each car, let's say. There's a train screaming through the yard. In terms of the power output, it has 8 Mitsubishi MB 512A traction motors that produce 270 brake horsepower, or horsepower I should say, and it cannot. And this is a rare unit that can operate on the DC third rail and the 12.5 kilovolt overhead line. So I don't think the M7 or the M3 could do that. So that's pretty cool. And I imagine you have to change power when you head on to the New Haven main line. The New Haven line.
This station is Stamford. As you leave the train, please watch the gap between the train and the platform.
Not New Haven, New Harlem line. That's it. I also, that's just reminded me I've got to turn down the audio announcements. So we'll get rid of the internal passenger noise, we'll get rid of the cab announcements, and we will get rid of the onboard announcements just to save the route from crashing and burning. Okay, so now we've been given clearance to head into Stamford. Sounds wise, I think it's okay. I think I could do a bit of work though. Certainly when it was at idle, like at a standstill, there was a noticeable loop there. Let's try the horn. Pretty similar to the M7 horn on the inside. What's it like from the outside? The horn is okay on the exterior. It's got a bit of bass to it, a bit of depth. I don't think since this route has launched, I don't think any patches like concerning any bugs or anything have actually happened yet, which is a bit of a surprise. So the track speed is 50, but the signal speed is 15 miles per hour. So we have to obey the signalling speed at all times, even if the line speed is greater than that. But here we are, trundling into the first station, which is Stamford. As you probably heard, there are announcements on this route, obviously AI generated ones. I like the braking sounds on that, on the M8. Wow, it's quite cool. There are announcements, platform announcements, whether that's on every single platform I don't know, or station. There are announcements on the M8 and I imagine the Amtrak AC64, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's take a look at the exterior. So we got PIS displays, they work. Logo looks pretty sharp. Grand Central on the side there. There's absolutely no one here on board, obviously, since we've taken it out of the yard or the sidings. And it displays the next station inside. No posters, which is a bit of a shame. We'd like to see some more branding on the inside. There's the overhead catenary. It's a good looking model, I have to say. It's pretty good. Bit of weathering on there. I think as a model goes, it's going to be pretty good. When it comes to train models, multiple unit models, or wagons and coaches models, like the modelling itself has always been a strong point in Train Sim World. No doubt about that. Hi Andrew, nice to see you. Yeah, the weekend's been good, thank you. It's been alright, thank you. So let's take a look around Stamford. We've got a sign there. We've got some Be Mindful posters by the Association of American Railroads. That is a nice touch. Got the usual fictional dovetail brands. You've got PIS displays working there. Got stairs and a working escalator. That is nice to see. The lift doesn't work though. And in the distance you got the traffic going about its morning commutes. I think the station itself looks okay. Looks okay to me. A little bit quiet though, I'll say that. Expect to be a bit more busy than this. Mind you, there's passengers arriving on this platform. And that would be the station exits down now, I suppose. And there's steps directly leading onto the platform. Yeah. And you've got steps up there, don't know where it takes you to. Won't let you go there. I think the station is okay. It's modelled reasonably well. Got a little walkway there, which is interesting. A little bridge going over the tracks. And then down to the roads just there. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. Roads have never been Dovetail's strongest suit, and that's probably going to continue. There's a bit of weeds and shrubs. It looks okay. It looks a bit blotchy, but it looks all right. Right, let's lock the doors and depart. Been here long enough. Traffic's quite loud though. And again, it's going underneath us, isn't it? So. No idea what the signal speed is. I've got to keep it at minimum power. So this is a 8-car train. Or I think 4 sets of 2 single sets connected together, or paired sets. Okay, so the signal speed is increased to 45. And our first station stop is Old Greenwich. So there are, I think, 22 stations on this route, if I'm not mistaken. Which is quite a few, no doubt about that. Track signal speed is still is now down to 30 miles per hour. It's quite hard to read the track speed numbers and the signal speed. I don't know why. It seems the red numbers are quite hard to read for me. Maybe that's because it's, you know, early in the morning and it's bright and the sun's coming up. I imagine at night time that'll be quite easy to see. The running sounds. It's okay. Right, let's increase the speed to 70 miles per hour. I'm not sure what the maximum speed is on this route. I imagine it ranges from like 70 to maybe 100 at a push, if you're lucky, running the Amtrak services. See what the braking physics are like. Yeah, it brakes pretty sharply. Yeah, it's the same here, Andrew. The weather's been pretty terrible, to be honest with you. A bit inconsistent. One minute it rains, next minute it's very windy. The other minute it's sunshine. How far do we need to be at the end of the platform? Yeah, the weather's been very inconsistent of late. The only nice day I think, well, I've had is the Wednesday, because the weather was boiling that day. It's almost like summer came too early, and yeah, it was boiling that day for some bizarre reason. And then the rest of the week it's been, well, pretty topsy-turvy. But yeah, I hope you had a good Easter as well, Andrew. I chose not to stream over the Easter break. So this is our first stop, North Greenwich, or Greenwich. I think it's pronounced the same way as Greenwich in London.
Next to arrive on track 3 is the 8:05 a.m. train to Grand Central Terminal, making stops at Old Greenwich, Riverside, Coscob, Greenwich, Portchester, Rye, and...
I think the greenery is a little bit undercooked. It's a bit, again, patchy. I expected a bit better there. Obviously, this part of the North East Corridor is new to Train Sim World, like never been seen before new. I mean, the trees and bushes themselves look okay. I think this needs to be a little bit fleshed out a bit more, maybe. Like over here is okay. As regards to, yeah, the road doesn't look too bad. There's cars going about. It's busy. You can go down to the pavement or go from the pavement to the station platform, which is pretty cool. Now there's collectibles also on this route if you're interested in that. You know, route maps and finding various bits and pieces scattered around. I've got the station sign there, Old Greenwich. PIS displays, obviously station announcements as you've heard. The car park looks... it's a bit of a mixed bag actually. They've rushed laying the tarmac. It looks very messy. Put it bluntly. Way we rose up. Rose into the atmosphere there, into space. Yeah, I think the tarmac area around the car park needs a bit of work. I don't want to be like super smooth, super clean, super brand new and fresh, but I think the colour of it, or the texturing, or applying the textures needs improvement. What's going on with the camera? You got a truck here. The builder maybe is contracted doing some local work with the bricks and the wheelbarrow. Oh, there's another train right behind us. Good grief. Sorry, train. We'll close the doors. Just want to see the station building here, the main station building. Yeah, it's quite a cute little station building. Shame you can't go inside it, but it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, it's good. It's okay. Again, as always, the overhead line equipment, the wires, the signalling, the signage looks 100% authentic to real life, thanks to the magical work of Cactus Juice, very well-known community member in train sim circles. The next station stop will be Riverside. Speed limit has decreased to 45. Obviously we're going to be heavily delayed taking a look at this route, so buckle in, it's going to be a long one. So the journey we're doing is from Stamford all of the way into Grand Central Terminal, and then I'll possibly do a run from New York Penn to New Rochelle, maybe, in the Amtrak ACS 64, and if I've got enough time I'll squeeze in a freight service, because I definitely want to take a look at that. Okay, so we are approaching Riverside. I love the brake sounds and the whining. This train almost sounds really cool. Sounds almost space age techno. It's probably some of my favourite sounds on this unit. When you try and bring it to a stop. Sounds really cool. In my eyes anyway. Well, at least it's fairly busy. Got a train that went by there. You've got one coming to go. Hello. One going to Stamford. Yeah, so another cool thing is that the AI will honk their horns as per regulations before entering stations, and I imagine when you leave the station as well. So, this is the next station stop, Riverside. And the road going overhead. That's quite a cool looking bridge actually. See the train in the distance there behind us. Yeah. Fans look okay, the vents look alright. You can see the passengers having to cross the railroad to get access to the platform or to the cars they may have parked themselves in. It's a bit more busier at the station, that's good. The car park here looks much better. And again, the station building, albeit you can't go inside the main station building, looks quite cute actually, I really like it. Is there a door? Yeah, there are doors, yeah, so you can't go inside the station interiors, which is a shame, but that's to be expected. But again, the usual bits and bobs of the station, signage, fake posters, real posters, PIS displays, the station name signs, yeah, it's all there. That's the AI guard. Okay, so you're telling us it's safe to go, so let's rock and roll. We will go to the next station stop, which is Koskoob, or Kobe. So the signal speed is 45 at the moment. Since we got a smallish downhill gradient, we'll keep the power set at minimum. Okay, so we're crossing our first river. Let's take a look. Yeah, the water textures look good. There's yachts everywhere, little quayside there, little harbour. That's cool. Oh, there's a little soccer pitch there as well. And a substation to boot. Cool. Oh, fast approaching the next station. Stations come thick and fast when you're not paying attention. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, Andrew? I think there was a quite a strong storm up around what was it? Southern Scotland, northwest England, that kind of area. We didn't have any sort of those kind of, storms or anything like that, but I think we had a bit of a back end of it, some sharp showers and reasonably strongish winds. Not crazy strong, but strong enough to notice. The train creeping through. It's cool that there's a nice variety of services as Amtrak can do, be it all stops, local, services, semi-fast expresses, express services non-stop. So there's a fair bit of variety there, which is cool. And I imagine some empty stock moves thrown in as well. So this is the next station stop, which is Costco, right under a highway or motorway. There are cars going over it, you can just see. Got the road there. I like the fact that most of the roads are pretty full to the brim with cars going about. It's nice, it gives you the impression, you know, you're in the New York area, or just outside New York. I think Stamford is in the state of Connecticut, so I don't know if they're actually in Connecticut still or have crossed into New York. I'm not sure actually. It seems this station interior seems to be modelled. You can see outside. Oh no, it's a mirror. It's a reflection. Oh right, okay. No, you can kind of see the train there, can't you? Oh, bizarre. I don't think there's anything inside there. You could just see straight through kind of to the train. Okay. There's a nice station building again now. Got some ticket machines there, Metro North Railroad ticket machines. Passenger displays. Bins, trash cans. Some shelters. I love the rustic look of the this gantry here, housing all the overhead line wires. Car park here looks okay, very orderly. This little road here looks a bit quiet now. Well, you got the American flag there, tucked away. Yeah, this is a really busy area, built up area around here. Cars and roads galore. Right, let's head to the next station stop, which is Greenwich again. Or Greenwich this time. Andrew, have you got a busy week? What's left of it? No, not busy at all this week. No, I'm going away this week. Going away for a break. Very much needed, that's for sure. Yeah, go to see some family members in London on Thursday. I'll spend 3 or 4 or 5 days there, so looking forward to that. Seeing them, catching up. Plus I'll be celebrating my granddad's 90th birthday person. You know, his birthday's been and gone, but you know, he felt it was right to kind of celebrate it. Speeding a little bit much there. What's the chances that we're going to overshoot? Yep, we are going to overshoot. See Daisy. It's the first station I've overshot. Hopefully the last time. Never mind. But here we are at, now I presume this is pronounced not Greenwich this time, but Greenwich. I'm not sure actually. Maybe it is Greenwich. I'm not sure. Well, there's one of those collectibles, look. A good old-fashioned 1950s or 60s New York
Attention
yellow
at
cab.
Greenwich. The 8:16 a.m. train to Grand Central Terminal will arrive on track 3.
Well, the coaches
Repeat,
are,
the
cars are slowly
8:16
filling up with
a.m.
people.
train to Grand Central Terminal will arrive on track 3. Next to arrive on track 3 is the 8:16 a.m. train to Grand Central Terminal.
Got the
Making
brickwork
stops
here
at
on the station.
Greenwich, Portchester,
This must be a new part of the
and
station,
Grand
maybe.
Central Terminal.
It's got lifts that do work. Wow. Yeah, the lift works. Brilliant. Good. Yeah, it works. Brilliant. Alright. That's not too bad. So, is this the station building, or is this like part of like some multi-business, local business building here? I'm not sure. Either way, it's empty. You can't see what's inside it, so I'm not really sure. You got a reasonably sized car park there. Again, the what's going on with the free cam? I don't know if that's tarmac meant to mimicking potholes or something. A little bit of weeds growing through the road. And then again, you got some cars going in, well, one direction it seems, not in the other direction. Not many going on traffic-wise, going under the line. But yeah, it seems just going in one direction. There's a fuel station here, a gas station. Set of stairs there to get from the ground level to the platform level. Same on that side too. Same on the other side. Oh, you got some traffic here, but it's turning off going down that way, not carrying on that way. I think it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Gets the job done. Right, let's lock the doors. Right, let's head to the next station stop, which is Portchester. I think this particular route has, if I'm not mistaken, the second or the busiest US timetable ever seen in Trade Center World. So I think it's 560 playable services, which is a reasonable size. I think it's quite good. But the AI, of course, have the lion's share of let's say its own set of services. That has, I think it's well over 1,000. It's like 2,000 or 3,000. It's quite a lot. Let me just double check to make sure I've got that right. So we've got a slight downhill gradient for the time being. Let's take a look. Speed limit 50 miles per hour coming up. Oh, we're coming to a stop. Oh. Oh. Why have we stopped? I obeyed the signal speed limit. Oh. What do? Oh no. What do? How do you reset it? You set it to the max brake, don't you? And I take it the brakes will recharge itself? Yes, it will. Okay, that's a bit bizarre. I swear the signal speed said MAS a few seconds ago. Oh. Unless there's some sort of bug, I'm not sure. Now the signal speed is 45 because the speed limit's coming up. It reads 45. Yeah, I don't think Dovetail actually say how many AI services this route has, but I imagine it's a lot. If it's the busiest or most intensive US timetable that Dovetail's ever made for a US route in Train Sim World. But there's the next station just around this slight curve, which is Portchester. Stop at the end of the platform. I have to say the performance of this route is better than I expected, but I think it's going to get progressively worse the more we get into the heart of Manhattan. But here we are at the next station stop, which is Portchester. Immediately next to a church, I think that is. Is that a church? There's quite a little tower there across, so I imagine it's a church. Small little community church, maybe? Yeah, it looks to be, doesn't it? Or a chapel of some description. Got the cars going about, albeit it's in one direction, and the road here looks awful. See the cars melting into the road. Jeez. Yeah, that needs a bit of work. Regards to the station, I imagine it looks as accurate as it can be, I suppose. Got the station sign there, which has a Metro North Railroad branded on the sign there. We've got a help point. PIS displays obviously work, which is good. I imagine the station announcements work here too. We've got a lift, which I think it works. Can't actually access it. You've got steps that take you down to the road. Oh yeah, there's the lift. Oh yeah, I've got a... Can I close the lift? No, it won't let me go inside. I imagine you could see the lift going up through the lift shaft. Yeah, there's the car park. Looks, yeah, okay. Could be better, could be worse. Got station shelter there. Oh, it even says the name, Portchester Station. Oh, that's good. Here's the station building, historic station building. Sadly not accessible as regards to the interior. There's the church over there, look. Further down the road there. Yeah, it looks okay. Oh, the grass, weeds and shrubs look much better. It's a bit more fleshed out, which is nice to see. The far distance, I don't know if that is accurate or not. As regards to, distant scenery and terrain. I'm surprised you couldn't see any of the New York skyline or Manhattan skyline. Be in a southerly direction. Can you see it? No, not yet. I'm imagining we are absolutely destroying the Metro North timetable at the moment, but as long as it works, it's all that matters to me. I want to take a look at the route as in depth as I can, time-wise. No, Andrew, you're right. Yeah, the city of Newcastle or Durham has not been replicated in Train Sim World. One day, you never know. As Dovetail always says, just check the road map, but you know. What I will say, which I hope now happens, is that we've had so many DLCs launch over what, 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, and we all know why. It's because so Dovetail could make their financial statements for the year ending in, I imagine, April, May 2026 look better on paper. Hopefully now they can actually, you know, stop making routes and like start making updates and maybe fixing this this game a bit more. That would be nice. I mean, I don't think there's any major patches released for this route, and this came out a fair while ago. I think we've had like, what is it, 3 routes and 2, maybe 3 loco add-ons. It's quite an intensive schedule, I have to say. I feel sorry for the person that's picked up all the DLCs. Full price. Crazy. You need some deep pockets if keep buying those DLCs at full price within 3 or 5 weeks. Crazy. Anyway, here we are at the next station stop. Another train on the opposite platform. Oh, up in there. I swear someone fell, an AI character, an NPC fell through the bridge and through the station. Oh dear. Woman wanted to try and take a look at us in the cab.
Attention at Rye, the 8:47 a.m.
Here we are, Rye. Not Ride Pierhead, just Rye.
Repeat, the 8:47 a.m. train to New Canaan will arrive on track for...
Alright. So you got, again, the usual ticket machines. 2 different types of ticket machines, actually. The bridge plate for maybe disabled passengers. Got the correct signage. I'm not sure the font is accurate there, and I'm not entirely sure, but it looks okay. Gets the job done. Got some graffiti there. And the... Whoa. Okay, we're on the bridge now, are we? Okay. Then we got the car park, which doesn't look good. You can very easily tell there's just a complete separate block of tarmac that's been put down, and I don't like. But yeah, above you've got the road going over the railroad. It's reasonably busy, cars going about. The foliage at the side here, I mean, there's some 3D bits of 3D grass. It looks okay. Could do a bit more bushes, I think. There's the occasional tree. It's very orderly, I have to say. You can tell. Tree, 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 and in between it's just grass. We've got some good old lamps there. Never they light up at night is another story. Jeez, what's happened to this piece of tarmac? Has it been burned? Was that just a giant bit of oil that's come out of someone's car, maybe? Oh dear. I know there's a current fuel crisis at the moment, but I don't think that's meant to be portraying as oil or petrol or diesel. Right, let's head off to the next station stop, which is Harrison. Yeah, Andrew, can't wait to go away and see my family members I haven't seen since January. No, don't brake. I was under the 30-mile-per-hour speed limit. Sure if I'm doing something wrong, or because with the master controller, when you put it into the braking position, there's no suppression notch. So I'm not really sure if that is completely accurate what I'm doing. You know, even if you get under the signal speed, the emergency brakes apply, or the safety system shouts to you and just applies the brakes anyway. Entirely sure if that's right. Might be a little bug, which won't surprise me, but there you go. Increase the speed to 50, which will soon then go up to 70 miles per hour. Signal speed has decided to have its moment in the sunlight, and it's set a track speed of signal speed of 45 miles per hour. Changed to the mass. I presume that's the maximum speed limit you can reach, or that's being indicated, which is 70. And now we got a break for the next station, which is Harrison. We need to stop at the end of the platform. doors, and here we are at Harrison. Steep steps, don't they? Blimey. Jeez, they look steep. Good grief. So you got the road going over the railroad yet again. Some cars going about, which is good. Some going to the left, and some going to the left as well, all going in other directions. It's good to see the traffic's a bit more busy around this area of Harrison. This is the car park of Harrison, I imagine. It looks okay, I suppose. Again, not great, not fantastic, but not horrendous either. There's an Amtrak regional service charging fuel station. Same goes for a express Metro North MA. It looks like you can operate BM8 in either 4 car formation or an 8 car formation, which is pretty good, so there's a bit of variety there. Yeah, we were around it. I mean, I suppose it's pretty much rinse and repeat, isn't it? Same set of stations and same assets. You know, houses, shops, all that kind of stuff. You got this. What is this meant to be? A pond of some sort? It's water, I think. Yeah, it's water texture. You can just tell. I'm sure that's meant to be. Little garden, maybe? I don't know. Needs more flowers. And there's a car park here on the other side. Yeah, it's passable, just about. This must be the old station building here. Unless it's a staff control room or something, I'm not sure. Maybe you can access Harrison Station from either steps or maybe even the lift, I imagine. There's a lift shaft. The lift should work, yeah, seems to be a working lift, which is good. Let's go to the next station stop, which is Mamaroneck. That's how you say it, or Mamaroneck, maybe. Either way, the station is not too far away. We've nearly reached the fastest speed we've encountered so far, 80 miles per hour, as we're thundering into our next station. Are we going to overshoot? I hope not, I think we are. Not bad for only the second time I played this route in its entirety. Okay, here we are at the next station stop. You've got the cars going about again, which is good. I like the foliage around here. This looks a little bit more encouraging. And the stonework there, look. And the stone wall, that looks good. The cars are floating along the road, which is not good. Jeez, when the trains run by, those sounds definitely need, exterior-wise, when a train, you know, rushes through and the camera's still, yeah, that needs to be improved. Interesting lights. LED maybe, I'm not sure. Yeah, a simple little platform. All the usual amenities. Start signs and POS displays, posters, benches, trash cans. There was a ticket machine, wasn't there? No, I don't think I can see one. So it's Mama Renek. Okay, that's how you say it. Maybe. This car park looks a little bit better. Look at markings on the ground where you can't park under all circumstances. This is an interesting building here. Is this a church or something? Or a former station building? Anyway, it's a nice looking asset. Not too bad at all. And then over here, what have we got here? A little park area here. Bit of greenery, that's cool. Blimey, the road really does suddenly end there, doesn't it? That's a drop. Oh my god. Oh, it's a bridge. Alright, going over the little stream here. The stream looks nice. Next to it would be nice to have some foliage, you know, some bushes, weeds, shrubs. There's even a tree growing out of the stream there. And the water just suddenly ends there. Oh dear. I think that little park area could do with some touching up. I think we've got a train behind us. Yeah, it's blasting its horn. Not happy we are in its way. Andrew, hopefully getting this game for birthday. It's not on Disc, payware. Yeah, which version are you getting it on, Andrew? PS4, didn't you say? Or PlayStation 5. If it's PS4, I wouldn't recommend it. The game runs like a pig, and all of the new DLCs that have launched since Train Sim World 4 do not support PlayStation 4. Even these smaller, like Loco add-ons, like the Class 90 that came out a couple of weeks ago, even that isn't available on PlayStation 4 anymore. I wouldn't recommend it, personally. You'll just end up paying for a version that, in the end, you can only experience 3 new routes that come with the standard game, and then obviously all the DLCs that you own. That, I imagine, will work on the PS4. I've actually no idea. But yeah, if you're expecting to play any of the shiny new things that has been launched recently on the PlayStation 4, that's not going to be the case. to the next station stop, which is Larchmont. Well, we need to brake here, don't we? I think I maybe overshot this quite badly. Oh, mind you, platform's quite long, yeah. Okay, we're actually going to brake a little bit earlier to a standstill. I didn't mess around with the brakes then. Whee. Oh, here we are. And our next station stop is the train leaving Larchmont. Got some nice classic lights there. Pretty nice displays, little shelter. You've got a MTA help point, usual bits and pieces, I imagine. Bench, signage, fake ad boards, trash cans, little shelter there. Yep, the usual. Oh, there's another train. There's the train behind us. Still pulling the fuss. Blimey, he gets close, doesn't he? He or she, whoever's driving it. That's a tad close. Got workable lifts, that's good. So the station is fully accessible. And the bridge that spans the railroad. And up here you've got the very big car park. Wow, huge. Oh wow, the car park's actually built over the top of the highway here. Oh, how cool is that? That's nice. It's pretty cool. So you're right next to the highway, heading into downtown Manhattan or New York City. And on the other side is another big car park here. This is obviously a very popular station for commuters. Hence the size of the car park. No disabled bays though. I'm surprised by that. There's no disabled car parking spaces unless this is meant to mimic a disabled car parking space. Yeah, that's for the station. Yeah, looks okay. Gets the job done. Got a small little building here. Is that the main station building? Can't actually. There seems to be, but nothing too fancy. Okay, the next station stop is New Rochelle, which is the last station we'll be stopping at on the Northeast Corridor, and then we will turn off and head on the New York Harlem line. So basically we won't be seeing the fast blue Amtrak trains, but then again we've only seen one so far. What's the speed limit? 80. It's hard to read the signal speed and the track speed on the desk there. It's just the red numbers, excuse me, are very hard to read out, to make out. Yeah, that's alright, Andrew. I'm happy to give you the heads up. Especially don't waste your money on this game, to be quite frankly honest. It's in a bit of a rough state, to say the least. Yes, spend it on Train Sim Classic. I didn't realise you had a PC, Andrew. Have you got a PC that can have a Train Sim Classic? That can have a Train Sim Classic operating on it. I haven't got a PC. I was thinking of a gaming laptop, but I don't think that'll cut the mustard somehow. Oh, there's a big tallish skyscraper or apartment building or business on the left hand side. We'll be seeing more of those kind of buildings the closer we get to Grand Central Terminal. I've always wanted to get a Train Sim Classic. Despite its age, I think it's a better game at the moment than Train Sim World, despite how shiny and good this game can look sometimes, and how cool the timetable mode is, when it works, of course. Yeah, Train Sim Classic. I mean, the advantage of Train Sim Classic is I think it's more realistic to drive and operate, and plus there is an absolute, literally a different world of content, like, you know, varying different eras, different types of traction, countries, nations, you name it. There's so much more content compared to Train Sim World, and plus it probably runs a bit easier and smoother than Train Sim World at the moment. We've got a coach door that's open here. It shouldn't be. Oh dear, unless that's for the engineer or conductor to look out of, maybe. So that's a North East Regional service that's just arrived. It's heading to Boston. So, New Rochelle, familiar yet new, completely rebuilt when it was last in Train Sim World, some 5, 6, 7 years ago. Yeah, it's totally different. The area, totally different. Car parks fleshed out. This is probably the best looking station I've seen so far. Just the area around it looks better. Weed, shrubs. Cars parked along the side there. There's is this a multi-story car park? I think it is, isn't it? There's cars on the bottom level there. That's good. Loads of Chryslers. Sedans, saloons. Got these people there waiting for maybe a taxi or something, not sure. And you got the cars going about on the road there heading into Manhattan, as well as cars going over the railroad. In these big tall buildings here, these must be flats or businesses in the area. Yeah, it looks totally different to the newer shell of the original Train Sim World. Like the weathering now on the glass. The lift shaft. Yeah. This is probably my favourite station I've seen so far. Probably is the best looking scenery. And see, we've got little benches here, look, for you to chill if you want to. Watch the trains and the world go by. So that's the end of the new section of this route. Now we're going to head on to familiar territory, the New York Harlem line. That launched back in Train Sim World 2 a long time ago. The next station stop is Pelham. Interestingly, at some point we will have to change the power mode, which is unique for this multiple unit. That's a standout feature, I suppose. Like I said at the start of the stream, this runs on the DC third rail as well as the overhead line wires, and I think we've got to change over pretty soon. Well, we'll definitely tell. We can definitely tell when we change over, when we don't see any more overhead line equipment and wires and so on and so forth. I don't think Train Sim Classic's on the PlayStation 4. I don't think it's ever been on PlayStation. It's always been on the PC, right? Unless you mean it's all of a different Train Sim Classic that I've never heard of. When I'm talking the Train Sim Classic, I mean the dovetail version of Train Sim Classic that they put out for the last decade, really, or, you know, decade and a half. Okay, but we're coming up to the next station, Pelham. This is actually a new station, my mistake. So yeah, this section here is also new. Not many people want to tune in tonight, do they? Watch the stream. Bit of a shame. Maybe I picked the wrong time. I don't know. Okay, so here we are at another new station, Pelham. Sheltered steps down to the road. And cars going about. It's good to see. Bit of greenery. Car park looks okay. It doesn't look too bad. This bit of road could be better. And the junction. Oh, we got a coffee shop here. Oh, built-in coffee shop's a lovely little station building. So we've got some flowers dotted about. It's good to see. Brighten up your day. So is this a station building with a built-in coffee shop, or leased out to a coffee company? We've got free ticket machines. Oh yeah, there's a local cafe. A cup to keep you on track. Oh, right. There's a pizza box there and some rubbish. And the PIS displays, as always, work. In good working order. It's good. And the car park over here looks okay, I suppose. A little place where you can put your bikes. And you got an underpass. If you want to access the other platforms.
Next to arrive on track 3 is the 9:03 a.m. train to...
Yeah, it's good. It's not too bad. So the signal speed is 45 at the moment. And we've now got to change over the power very shortly, actually. Okay, we've now got to change the power somehow. Right, how do we figure this out? So, turn the power pantograph down. No. Pantograph is down. I presume we put it to neutral. I'm not sure. And we put it in DC mode. Sounds like something's happened. Yay! Managed to change over successfully. Brilliant. Ooh. Let's have a look outside. Is the pantograph down? Yep, the pantograph is down. Managed to change over successfully. That's pretty simple. It's not too bad. Just a few flicks of the switch. So the next station is Mount Vernon East, which is all the way... Oh, it's right there in fact. That's another new station on this route, I think. Very slow speed here. Very slow speed. Wonder why I have to go so slow. must be a train up in front of us. Maybe some congestion entering the Harlem line. And now it's a bit too close to the platform edge. Andrew, fate worse than death. That's okay. I get mixed up sometimes, don't worry. Believe me. Oh, collector's edition. I see. Right, that's the version you're going to get. Is that still on sale? Can you still access that? Maybe if you have Train Sim 02 installed, you can. Right, here we are at the next station stop, Mount Vernon East.
Harlem, 125th, and Grand Central Terminal.
Nice to hear the PI's displays are in the authentic American accent. Good. Right next to a little small road here. Well, it's reasonably busy. I like the warehouse here they've got here. Looks great for a warehouse. Brickwork in particular. Local business. We've got a postal van. I think that's what they have in the States here. A stop sign. Just a little lay-by we can pull in and drop off people. You've got the grass growing bush or a tree growing through the glass. Okay. That needs to be dealt with, I think. And here is the little tiny concourse of Mount Vernon East, steps heading to the platform, and steps heading up to the little bridge that crosses the railroad. And you've got a lift that is out of action, so you can't use that. And this must be the station building. Well, it seems to have modelled-ish. It's got some ticket machines in there, some snack drinks machines. What's down here? Oh, you got another set of steps. If the free camera would let me. No, it won't let me. But, oh no, you can't actually go into the station, it's just steps. On the other side is another car park. I think it looks better, this car park actually. It's got some little planters. And there's a bridge just beyond the station. It doesn't have any cars going over it. Oh, never mind. We've got a little walkway though from the station to the road where the bridge is. It's okay. We are running so late. Oh my god. It's crazy. Right, let's go to the next station stop, which is Fordham. Now, all of these stations on the New York Harlem line I won't stop at and get out and have a look at because I've already done that in Train Sim 02 many years ago. I imagine there's some changes here and there, but it's not listed on Dovetail's website, so I imagine they haven't been touched very much at all. Barring maybe some Metro North branding, maybe, or new Metro North branding and fictional posters and all that kind of stuff, and the collectibles obviously. Okay, the maximum speed limit is 60 miles per hour. The only station I'm keen to stop at is the station right, or the second to last station before Grand Central Terminal. Because according to my notes, Dovetail have made the New York skyline more accurate. Basically, when the New York Harlem line launched about 4 years ago, bafflingly, some iconic New York landmarks were missing from the New York skyline as you head down under Manhattan into Grand Central Terminal. So the familiar, postcard buildings like the Chrysler Building and the Empire State Building, and even those super thin. Oh my God! I've pressed the wrong button. Those super thin, like billionaire apartments. They were all missing, I think, which is weird. We're on an elevated bit of track here. Hello. That's cool. Hey. That was a nice little viaduct going over the tracks there. That's cool. Never seen that at this kind of vantage point before. As fast for the ballast though, going over that bridge, elevated section, jeez. Good bit of improvement. New track speed and the signal speed is now 45. That's on a very steep downhill gradient. I imagine that train that was behind us has now overtaken us. That train engineer will be delighted to have finally got in front of us, if that is indeed that engineer, that train that was behind us all this time. We can now reach the maximum line speed, which is 75 miles per hour. Rock and roll. Shimmer and shake. Once I've done this, run into Grand Central Terminal, I will then hop on an Amtrak service, and I don't think I've got enough time to look at the freight. But I will take a look at the other section of the Northeast Corridor I haven't seen, from New York Penn to, let's say, New Rochelle. Because that section of that route, even though it's been featured in the very, very, very distant past, has been completely rebuilt from scratch. I did want to take a look at the freight, but I don't think I'll have enough time. No, no. Ah, bugger. The brakes have applied itself. Obviously thinks it couldn't slow down quick enough. That's something I'll have to learn. Go, release the brakes, off we go again. Thankfully, we haven't got too far to go to the next station. This station we're not stopping at, it's the next one. We have a race with this train up ahead. It's recently overtaken us. Who will leave the next station first? Unless that one isn't stopping at Fordham. Doesn't look to be. this bridge here. That always catches me off guard. No, it is. There it is. Wait, it's a little bit far. But it's okay. Now we're in the darkness for the time being. There's the Metro North M7. Nice to see it make an appearance. That's from the New York Harlem line route. It baffles me why this wasn't bundled in with the with this route. It would make a little bit more sense why it was at this stupid price, but it's not, for whatever reason. See how easy it is to see the red signal speed and track speed in the dark. Much easier to see when the tunnels going into Grand Central. So the next station stop is Harlem 125th Street, which is the station I get out and have a look at. In the free cam at least. That the speed limit, okay, I was going to say the speed limit on the HUD said 75, whereas on the desk it said on the desk it said 75, but on the HUD it said 60 briefly. I was like, that's not right. Obviously a bit of a delay. To be a little bit more fleshed out, it's hard to tell. Obviously I imagine it is just a copy and paste of this part of the Harlem line. Speeding a little bit. I'm quite surprised by the performance of this route. It's smoother than I expected. I haven't encountered any blurry textures of the sort, which is fantastic so far. I imagine it won't be the case when we get into Grand Central Terminal or New York Penn station later. Oh bugger, now I've made a mistake. I pressed the emergency brakes by an accident. That was my fault. Oopsie daisy. Apologies for that mistake. That's purely my fault. Not the game's fault. That's my fault. That's my fault. Let's set it to maximum brake. Recharge the brakes, which won't take a tick. There we go. Now we can go. That's my fault. Sorry about that. In the build up to this stream, I was watching quite an interesting little video documentary on the unseen world of the New York subway. Really well made, I have to say. It was by a creator known as Jose Goes on Tour or something like that, who lives in that part of America. Really, really fascinating little video documentary, I have to say. It's like they did a little, it was called, I think it was titled "The Hidden World of the New York Subway." Really, really quality bit of a video I'll recommend you go and watch, full of fascinating little secrets and videography, I have to say. So we got a signal speed of 45 at the moment, as we are just passing Mott Haven Yard, and that is the branch going to Yankees East 153rd Street. So that's basically for the Yankees. Is it baseball team? Not very good with my sports teams in New York. Okay, so about to cross the biggest river on this route by far. Which is the Harlem River itself. Hence the name of the Harlem Line. Doesn't that look much better compared to straight symbol too? So much better. What a difference. Water texture looks great. Now what's fascinating as regards to the CSX freight services is I think you can't run, I don't think, a CSX freight service from from this far out on this set of track. But you can, I think, start a service on a part of this long winding track along the Harlem River, which is fascinating to me. And we are cruising into the next station, the second to last station, which is Harlem 125th Street. And this I do want to get out and have a look at. Interestingly, we don't have a scheduled time for this station. Unusual. Obviously we can turn up at whatever time we like. Oh, there's an M3. It seems to have stopped just before the station. Is it at a signal? Yeah, maybe it's waiting for access into Grand Central. All right, let's take a look at Harlem 125th Street. It's familiar, but I think it's been touched up quite significantly as regards to the scenery around the station. There's a lot more cars down here. Got the traffic lights. Got cars parked under the railroad. Look at that. Look how far that goes. Incredible. New York is one of the cities in the world I would like to visit. As a city boy, this is top of the list. Followed by many other cities. Okay, we've got a bit of a traffic jam here. 2 trains make that 3 trains. Make that 4 trains. all stopped in Noah's Ark formation. 1, 2, 3, 4 trains. That's on the map, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 trains. Holy mackerel, holy crap. That's a long queue to get into Grand Central. It's a busy morning. Never a dull day in a city that never sleeps. Oh, maybe he's going to crash into him. Oh, he's impatient, that engineer. Let's get as close as he dare. Yeah, I mean, the built-up area looks a little bit better. It's hard to tell. I mean, this building looks new. No, maybe not, actually. No, it's good to see there's cars moving around on the roads. That is good. So, alright, let's skedaddle out of here before we end up having a train piled into the back of us. Oh my god. Alright, let's go. Where are we? Just up there. Let's go to our next and final stop, which is Grand Central Terminal. I'm keeping it at this camera angle deliberately so I can see what the New York skyline looks like. Because Dovetail have said they've improved the New York skyline, so hopefully the iconic buildings. Oh, there's a tennis court down there on the right. Hopefully iconic buildings like, you know, the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building have been actually modelled this time. Bizarrely on the New York Harlem line back in Train Sim 2, for whatever stupid reason, Dovetail chose to ignore them. Like, how? It's the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building? Wake up. It's one of the most iconic buildings in the whole city. And there's another set of tennis courts down there on the left. I've got a funny feeling those trains are waiting for us to go into the station. Alright. Jeez. That is so loud. Oh well. Came to a halt anyway. I think the Empire State Building was modelled as we were coming closer and closer to the tunnels of Grand Central. We're going backwards for some reason. Why are we going backwards? But I don't think the Chrysler Building is there, which is a bit of a shame. Can I get up top somewhere? Maybe go a little bit more higher up, maybe? Is that not allowed? Come on. Come on, camera. There we go. Oh, no. There we go. Yeah, it's difficult to tell from this angle, but I definitely could see, like, the outer lines of the Empire State Building down there somewhere. The Chrysler Building I could not see. Maybe Dovetail's tried to get away with modelling one building and hoping that people that don't have a good knowledge of New York would think that the Chrysler Building maybe doesn't exist. It's a made up thing. So what's the signal speed now? 30, right. That makes a bit of sense. What are you doing when you end the stream? I have to stay up until midnight for my mum to come home. She's out this evening. So when I eventually finish this stream, we'll go downstairs and, I don't know, have a cup of tea and watch something, I suppose, till she comes in roughly that time. That's what she told me. So all right. is such a slow speed into Grand Central. Is it going to be like 15 all of the way into Grand Central? We got another train that's stuck here, and another. Good grief! What earth's happened here? There's loads of them. Have they all just piled into each other, and it's literally a traffic jam going into Grand Central? That doesn't look quite right to me. What on earth's happened? Let's turn the markers off. So you got two trains, one that's gone beyond the red signals. Let's gain a bit of speed actually. Come on. Are they all waiting for me or something? It seems a bit bizarre. Surely not all of them will be waiting for me to pass through. Unless I've got special treatment or something. I really don't know that. Yeah, there's another one. Well, no wonder the game's been running so smoothly. You've had all the trains piled up here. Surely, like, they're not all the trains going into Grand Central. Maybe we got another one right in front of us. Apparently, and we're about to slam into the back of it if we're not careful. So I've got to keep my eyes out. Oh yeah, I can see it. Well, what am I going to do? I can't push it, can I? That's just stupid. Oh. At the moment, it's so busy, we've literally gridlock in the tunnels at the moment. I don't think I've ever encountered that on any train sim route. So it's complete and utter gridlock. I don't think it's going out of the station. I think it's just going into the station. That's the big problem. Look at them all. Well, who's going to go in first? Is it after you, sir? What's going on here? We've got an AI service going into Grand Central. Another one here that's stopped off the path, so it clearly must have got on the wrong track or something. Is there any trains at the station? Anything? Two trains in the entire station, when all the rest of them are parked up in the tunnels. I don't want to count how many trains that is, but that is an awful lot of trains. That is clearly something wrong. That cannot be right, surely. What's this one doing? Stop. Vehicle obstruction. Right. Yeah, there's something wrong. It might be something to do with me dilly-dallying. But then again, yeah, that has to be the case, because yeah, that's going into New Haven as well. Grand Central Terminal, yeah. That one's going into Grand Central. They all are. It's even me. They've all piled up because obviously they don't think I'm at the station platform, which I should have been in ages ago. Truth be told, but I've been too long, taking a look at stations and stuff. And I presume the AI has just said, "Well, if you're not in a station on time, mate, we're gonna sit in the tunnels and protest, I suppose." Oh my goodness. Well, never mind, but I imagine Grand Central Terminal looks the same as it did in Train Sim World 2. Never mind. There's nothing I can do. It's. I think it's a part of my fault, to be honest. Oh well. Well, at least it'll give me a good excuse to go on the Amtrak stuff. Right. It must have been because I was going too slowly and was way too late. No, I think that's my blame. What was I? Oh, shall I actually take a look at Grand Central quickly? Let me take a look. Let's do, I don't know, 6:37, something like that. Let's do that one quickly. April, doesn't matter. I just want to take a look around the station because the station has been touched up because Dovetail have now built the upper and lower platforms of Grand Central Terminal, which I think is the biggest station asset that Dovetail has ever created, interestingly. Which is fantastic. Really good. I think that's right. Must have been. Let me just double check. Okay, so in Train Symbol 2, the single level platforms were built, but now the entire double deck station is represented. That's 40 tracks and platforms for largest station made in Train Symbol. Right, there we go. Let's confirm that then. Right, let's set this up at least and get the people flowing into the train. Actually, no, we'll leave the markers off for the minute. On for the minute, I should say. We'll turn the cab light off. Gauge lights, set that to 100%. Indicators, set that to 100%. Okay, now I can get out. If it will let me. Oh dear. Where am I? I'm in the darkness somewhere. Okay, that's not going to work, is it? That's a bit better. Am I on the lower platforms or the higher platforms? I honestly have no idea. But it's pretty darn busy, even at 20 to 7 in the AM. Got an M7 there, chilling. Obviously, I'm a bit restricted to what I can see, because obviously there really is not much. Where's the rear camera? This is the rear of the train. This is better. So I don't know if this is the lower or the upper platforms. Yeah, I think the station for Train Symbol 2 looked okay. I like the flooring here and the atmosphere generated. Certainly gave its purpose of being busy and bustling. It's very difficult for me to tell whether I'm on the upper deck platforms or the lower deck platforms. I honestly have no idea. But, you know, it looks good with the newer lighting. That's the best plus point, and plus it looks okay. I think we're on the upper level platforms. I think. That is a big guess from me. But it looks to me we are on the lower deck platforms. That is a complete guess, but it looks different compared to the original Harlem Line station. So I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say that is the upper level platforms, which are the new one. Don't quote me on that though. I don't know. I'm purely guessing. Right, now you better get into the Amtrak. Should we get any Amtrak? A cellar? Does it stop at New Rochelle though? No, I don't think it does. No, I'll have to get in the Amtrak AC64. Let's do one in the afternoon, shall we? Penn Station to Stamford, 13:58. That'll do. Have it in daytime. Bit of cloud, the usual. We won't go all the way to Stamford. We'll go as far as New Rochelle, because that's the only part of the North East Corridor I want to see. Well, I've just seen Leeds beat Manchester United at Old Trafford for the first time in over, 40 years. 1981. Wow. Long time. A long time ago. That is a long time. Wow. 1981. Okay, Northeast Regional Service from New York Penn to Stamford. Right, let's set this train up. Don't set the throttle on. Set it to passenger. Put on minimum application like I tend to do. Dim headlights. Set the ditch lights to on. Set the console and the desk light to on. Thankfully, with this locomotive, you can disable and enable the safety systems whenever you choose to do so. So I'm going to leave them off for this run. I think the Amtrak ACS64 is probably, in my opinion, I think, the best passenger locomotive, US passenger locomotive that Dovetail's ever made. It was good when it first launched, way back in the original Train Sim world, and when it came back in Train Sim World 2, it was great. It had new sounds built from the ground up. Obviously the visuals have been updated since then, you know, new lighting and HD rain effects on the windscreen and all that kind of stuff. And plus it has its corridor modelled compared to the Class 90, which doesn't. That tells you everything. You've even got flights spattered all over the front of this train. The coaches, I imagine they're the same as they always have been. But it's full to the brim. Interesting hair styles there. Hair colours. Maybe they've dyed it the wrong hair colour. Yeah, the coaches are okay. I don't think they've been touched up at all. But they get the job done. But here we are at New York Penn. It's remarkably smooth in here. Wow. Frame rate is very good. And I've got everything installed, so we've got Long Island Railroad and Metro North services here. It's not too busy. We've got a few trains knocking around. Yes, surprisingly smooth. Wow. Even at this time. I imagine it's absolutely hellish down here when it's rush hour. Obviously there on the right you've got the cab signal panel, so it tells you to be cautious. The signal is restricted and the speed limit is 20. Obviously we can ignore that because we turned the safety systems off. Come on, let's go. Release those brakes. Now we can apply the power. Underground Railroad train, I think, coming in. Very squeaky wheels. Okay, so our one and only, well, there's 2 stops on this service, I imagine. Yeah, there is, but we're only going to be stopping as far as New Rochelle. Just want to speed through this new section of the rebuilt Northeast Corridor, New York, and then I'll very quickly hop into a CSX freight service if I can. Not necessarily to do a freight service, but just to look around the yard and the various yards and industries that the locomotive serves. Once we get out of the tunnels under Manhattan, we can then, the city of Manhattan, then be able to see the outside world. If you have enjoyed the stream up to this point, or any point during the live stream, then of course feel free to hit the thumbs up button below. And if you are watching for the first time, I'd appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to the channel. Really appreciate if you could, if you would do that. For those of you that already have, thank you. It means a lot. Seems the lighting at this section of the tunnel seems a bit weird. We've got some dark bits and then some very bright sections. It's meant to be emergency, like little tiny platforms, maybe. Maybe that's meant to be. I don't know. Daylight! Hooray! It's very misty out here. Wow. I swear I didn't set it to be misty. I swear I set it to be dry. Oh. Oh, never mind. Misty day, I suppose. So that's Sunnyside Yard down there. Did I set the weather to be misty? Did I really? I swear I didn't. Never do that. Oh well. We'll have to keep going then. So there are various, so yeah, that's Sunnyside Yard and the big balloon track, and imagine the train wash is there as well. Yeah, so all of this has been rebuilt from the ground up compared to the original Northeast Corridor that was included in the original train symbol. Hasn't been seen since then, but now it has returned. So the various the yards that you can operate. So this here is. Just keep that train quiet a minute. So yeah, in terms of the various yards and industries, you've got Harlem River Terminal here, which serves the trash trains, which are quite well known for New York rail fans. Then here we've got Oak Point Yard, which is where the trash wagons are stored. Let's say empty ones or loaded ones. They all gather here, and you can take them down to the terminal. You've got a little yard bit here, which I don't think you can access. They've actually got a beverage distribution firm there. And here is Hunts Point Market, the biggest food distribution centre, I think, in all of New York. I think. Apparently this it wasn't included before in the original Train Sim World. I got a funny feeling that might be wrong. It may have been completely rebuilt, and maybe look vastly different now, but I'm pretty darn sure it was in the original Train Sim World. And yeah, that's pretty much the CSX ST40-2's place of work. And the occasional time it will go to Fresh Pond Junction, but for some reason Dovetail decided to omit that section of line going to Fresh Pond Junction. In the original Train Sim World, the route would go to Fresh Pond Junction, but not the case anymore. So I think you have to start the service before Hell's Gate Bridge, which is a well-known bridge. Let's say the standout bridge on this route. So yeah, it's quite a short little section of the Northeast Corridor when you think about it, when you do a run from New York Penn to Stamford. It's pretty short. Not massively short, but compared to like other sections of the Northeast Corridor, it's the shortest by far. I think it's even shorter than Boston Sprinter, if I'm not mistaken. Andrew, yeah, I'm going away Thursday morning. Yeah, Thursday morning I'll be departing for London, and then I will come back on the Monday. So I might do a stream on this time next week. It depends how tired I feel. The problem with the trains I travel on to go to London is well, you've got either two choices. You take the slow Elizabeth line, or you take the fast GWR intercity IET trains, which are quicker but of horrendous ride comfort. So I think I know what I would do. I'll probably grin and bear it and take the fast train. And just, I don't know, bring a hoodie with me and use that as some sort of pillow for my bottom or my back. Believe me, if you haven't been on the Class 800s that GWR have, boy, rough ride is an understatement. They're probably the worst riding trains I have ever been on. It doesn't matter if you go first class or standard class. It's incredible how modern these trains are. Well, they're nearly 10 years old, saying that. But for how badly uncomfortable they are, it's unacceptable. And I think we're going over Hellgate Bridge, if I'm not mistaken. You just can't see it because it's just shrouded in mist. I'm pretty darn sure. Is that Hellgate Bridge? No, it's not Hellgate Bridge. Have we been already over it? I don't know. I've been so busy talking, and it's hard to tell which bridge is Hellgate Bridge because it's in the mist. I don't think I've crossed it yet. I can't quite remember. No, I must have crossed it ages ago. Yeah, because that's Harlem River Terminal we've just passed. Oopsie daisy. When I get in the CSX SD40-2, I'll double check the weather. I'm pretty darn sure I set it to clear. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just left it on dynamic by an accident. Oh well. Yeah, you can see the trash cars there. They have been gathered, ready for collection. Either to be stored away or to be taken to Harlem River Terminal for to be unloaded onto a river barge. It's parked up on the Harlem River. Yeah, certainly foggy. Certainly is. I never set this weather condition to fog. I really must have set it to dynamic and just forgot. I didn't look twice. I do apologise. I usually set it to lovely sunny May weather, but obviously the game has other ideas. Speed will decrease for a brief period, when it will fluctuate for the rest of the journey, I think. We just went over an abandoned signal tower, or went under, I should say. An abandoned signal tower. Looked okay. Good thing about the ACF64 is it's got big windows. You can really see the world passing by. Compared to the M8s and the M7s, they've got almost like little postbox, letterbox style windows. Thin, small windows. Tall windows, but thin, small windows. They're not very wide windows. We got just over 7 miles to go to New Rochelle. Then I'll just hop into the SD40-2 quickly, see if the basics work. Will it move? Will it stop? Will the lights work? Will the horn beep? Will it sound okay? Will it have blurry textures? I don't know. But I'm amazed that this route has not had any blurry textures so far. If you're worried about that, we've got no concerns with this route. No need to fear, no need to worry with this route. It takes it in this stride. I mean, this is the busiest timetable that Dovetail's ever made for a US route. I'm impressed with how reliable this route is. Frame rate is very consistent. It's not always 60 frames per second, but it's certainly above 30 frames per second. Very impressed. Six miles to go to New Rochelle. We're in just under 10 minutes. It's a nice bit of a variation with the gradients on this part of the northeast corridor. Speed is coming down to 60. Then it will go up again, and then it will take a big drop to 45. Oh dear, we are speeding, but oh well. The game won't punish us, so I've disabled the safety systems. I imagine the Amtrak ACS 64 have announcements working on it. I don't actually know, to be fair. I always have them turned off, but I imagine it does. I'll be shocked if it didn't. Because that's one of the headline new features of Train Sim World 6. If you couldn't tell, I don't like the fact Dovetail released yearly versions of this game. Bloody annoying. Of course you get people saying, well, don't buy it then, but that's not the point. They shouldn't do it full stop. They didn't do it in the past, they shouldn't do it again. Why don't they just have a version of the game and then stick to it? Not release 5 million versions of it. And find out it's barely changed from one game to the next. I could go on, but I won't. I've done enough of that in the past. Okay. Crossing over a river. Oh, well, this bit has new water textures. That's good. At least that's something. It's even a little yacht. With a sailing boat now. Wouldn't it be cool if the swing bridges, if the bridges actually moved, you know, when a boat comes through, or a big barge or something, trying to go down or up river. Imagine if you could see that actually happening. I mean, it's very rare that it happens, but I think some of the old, very old river bridges that used to work, you know, be it they go up and down, or maybe they turn vertically. Imagine if they did that. That'd be really cool. It's not the first time Dovetail's done something like that. I think they did it on Bremen Oldenburg a few years ago, didn't they? They had a swing bridge, I think. Or unless it was a lift bridge. I'm not sure actually. It's one of those two. Right, the speed limit is increased to its maximum speed. This is the highest speed we can reach on this route. 100 miles per hour. Such a giddy height. Such a fast and furious speed. Anyway, Andrew, what are you doing this week? You've asked me what I'm doing this week. What are you doing this week? Are you doing anything cool? I mean, I don't know. Some areas, the Easter holidays have ended, and in others, the Easter holidays are still continuing. So, I don't know if you're off for the Easter break or not. Speed limit's gone down to 18 and it's going down to 70. As we're very not far from New Rochelle. It's the first station stop on this service, but I'm not going to continue. I've already explored that part of the route, going from New Rochelle to Stamford. Far from New Rochelle now. We've got one more speed reduction, which is a 30 mile per hour speed limit on the final approach to New Rochelle. So that's where the Metro North Railroad, that's where it joins or departs the North East Corridor. Start braking. Do we need to stop at the end of the platform? I imagine we do. That's as close as we can get to being perfect. Or nearly perfect. Okay, so that's the Amtrak ACS64 taken out for a spin. Everything works, sounds okay, it sounds just as good and feels just as good as it was before. Good, I'm pleased. No new bugs detected. Right, now we can get into the most interesting part of this route in my view. The freight stuff. Not normally a freight person, but it's rare. You know, we have a northeast corridor route that has freight included from the get-go, not just AI services but playable as well, which is a big draw card for this route, I must say. So we'll take the ST40 out for a spin. It takes 21 minutes, I haven't got time for that. Begin classifying. So yeah, the services are switched, are divided into parts. So you can even do stone trains, trash trains, a mixed freight train coming into Oak Point Yard, switching duties. I mean, that one's over an hour. It's crazy. And that one's, well, this service alone, look how long it is. Brilliant. That's a fair few hours for you to knock back. Trash transfers. There's a fair bit of variety, I have to say. Then beverages, beverage warehouse, newspapers. Yeah, there's a lot of variety, I have to say. Let's take it in the afternoon. Let's try. It's difficult because I want it to be at Oak Point Yard. Maybe 6:53. Yeah, do that. Right, custom, May, light cloud, no fog, please. Keep it that way. Andrew. Oh, right, fair enough. Boring stuff, really. Fair enough. I mean, it's got to be done, innit? You know, got to keep the day-to-day duties going, I suppose. The usual chores, the usual stuff. Yeah, it's fine. No, it's okay, but a break's a break. Doesn't matter how you make use of your time. Okay. Press X to uncouple. Okay, I'll uncouple it. Right, I want to take a look around this cab. So, I think it's a new SD40-2. I don't think it's not got new sounds or anything. I think this variant might be a little bit different to variants of the past. There's only one other variant, and that's in Sandpatch Grey. So the headlights work. Put reverser in, set it to forward, I think. The textures in here look middle of the road. I like the weathered effect, but I think the textures themselves look a little bit Mickey Mouse. Look at those bolts. Oh my god. They're like PlayStation 3 stuff. Not blurry textures, they're just yikes. What can you do on the back wall here? Front number lights. You can't do the rears because there isn't any engine room lights and platform lights. Fuse cabinet, usual bits and bobs and switches you can mess around with. Lights, the radio, you can close the radio. And you can use the warning devices. Yeah, the radio does work-ish. Can't mess around with it, but at least it shows it's on. The horn. Oh, the bell. Seems the bell's a bit different. Oh, how cool is that? It's got the good Union Pacific horn. Oh, I'm glad of that. That's all. I'm pleased. So let's see it take off. Question. Where are we going? We're going forwards or backwards? No, we are going forwards. Why are we taking so long? Oh, we're still coupled up. That explains it. I swear we uncoupled it automatically. Obviously that doesn't work anymore. Right, let's try again. Please, can we move? Oh, is it not set to lead or dead? No, it's not. That's better. Now the brakes are released. Very pleased with the horn being included. The updated horn. Other than that, it looks the same as a normal SD40-2. It's very shiny, I must say. It would be nice if it was a bit more grubby, a bit more weathered. Yes, I know I failed the objective, but that was the point. Brake pipe works. No, I don't think it's animated anymore. Let's see. Oh no, it does work. Look at that. It still works to this day. Oh, brilliant. I could just see it move. Yeah, there we go. Just see it working. It's like the brake master cylinder, I think. That's really cool. Oh, please, it's still there. As for the area around the train, let's take a look around. I've got enough time. So we've got some graffiti, we've got some weeds, bushes, shrubs. This area looks much more fleshed out. very pleased with that. I can't go any faster with the camera, external camera. It's really annoying. I wish I could speed it up, but I can't. You used to. But Dovetail took it away, for whatever reason. So I have to go slow and steady and take a look around. I love the stuff at the side of the track. Look at that. Dirt, rubbish, paper, graffiti, pipes, containers, a truck. Yeah, it's good. Good. Got some cars running around on the bridges too. That wasn't the case before. We've got some water here. Sitting here. Yeah, this is much better. Look how dirty and grubby this looks. This is proper New York. Brilliant. This section of the route where the SD40-2 runs around, this is probably the best looking bit of the lot. It's miles better. Right, where's the track to... Yeah, this is Hunts Point Market here. Look at this, all the foliage and grass, weeds and shrubs. This is miles better. Miles better. Totally different to what it looked like before. Look, you've got the river over there too. Albeit, I don't know what's wrong with the river texture. Something's not right there. This is really nice. I really like this. God, there's a little bit of track going into Oak Point Yard. Look how good this looks. Dovetail, you've woken up. Oh, you built the road next to it. There's cars going about. This is miles better. Look at this. For Dovetail standards, this is fantastic. Oh, you got some scrapped cars and piled up rubbish. This is miles better. Way better. You know, we've got some trucks, road vehicles parked up on the side, ready to collect something. God, they've touched up this area well. What a difference compared to the original. It's night and day. You can tell they put a lot of effort into this area of the route. You've even got the Stars and Stripes truck there. Yeah, this is good. For Dovetail, this is very good. Look how busy this is, and the weeds and shrubs, trailers and everywhere. This is great. If you don't like the freight, you gotta do a freight service back here. Like just travelling from Oak Point Yard to in here, it looks amazing. It's miles better. So this is a Hunts Point Market. I think it's the biggest distribution centre, food distribution centre in all of New York. I may be mistaken. But yeah, oh, you've even got the refrigerated cars here. I never knew they stuck that in here. It's Union Pacific ones, but that's besides the point. At least they stuck them in there. Yeah, this is good. This is really, really good. Wow, I'm kind of gobsmacked. Oh, and it goes on, doesn't it? Yeah. Wow. Nope. The atmosphere kind of dies straight away the further you go into the market. Wow. Brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. That is fantastic. I'm running out of words to describe it. But for a Dovetail product, this is amazing. Apart from the strange water texture on the river. You can even see the New York skyline in the distance there. That's cool. Yeah, brilliant. That's really, really good. Right, I want to restart it so I could get back to Oak Point Yard, see what that's like, and then I'll trundle with the camera down to Harlem River Terminal. I really want to get this done quickly. A bit tight for time, but I do want to check one more time at the once more at the Come on, game, load up. Thank you very much. Wakey, wakey. Do the usual bits and bobs. Set it up at least. Make the game happy. There we go. Right, there we go, we're done. So these are the trash cars that were part of the original Northeast Corridor, New York. And they're back. After all this time, they are back. They are here. They're exactly the same. But at least they're here. Oh, we've got another train parked up here. That's also waiting, either to go into Harlem River Terminal or to head somewhere in the yard. Okay, we've got a mixed train here. So it's not just the trash train cars, you've got some Union Pacific freight cars and the refrigerated cars, of course. Cool, nice. There's the Oak Point Yard switcher, waiting for its next set of duties. Obviously the yard is a little bit quiet at the moment, as it's, well, not quite ready to start its day's duties, but immediately this is miles better. The yard area there's a bit more things dotted about, it's much more fleshed out. There's some tankers over there. I think there's a beverage beer facility you have to serve. Oh yeah, look at that. You can see the New York skyline in the distance. That is nice. Yeah, Dovetail, you deserve a pat on the back for this. This is tremendous. Miles better than what I was expecting. Never before have I said that the freight looks actually better than the passenger. I think this is it, because just the scenery alone is wow. They went to town with it, there's no doubt about that. I like the mixed freight cars too. So I think you're meant to mimic runs to Fresh Pond Junction, but obviously you can't go to Fresh Pond Junction. You can only take the service as far as just beyond Hellgate's Bridge, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Or just before the Northeast Corridor, I think, twists off. Is it west to New York Penn, I think. But what an improvement. Foliage, yeah, this is more like it. Bits of rail. This is great. Even got some, is that some towers over there, or something's over there? Standing out from the crowd. Is that a factory of some sort? I'm not sure. You can see the river there, the Harlem River, going out. That's cool too. You can tell that Dovetail has improved slightly the density of the New York skyline. Can't tell. Like, I think the World Trade Center is included because obviously the closer you get to New York Penn, the closer you're seeing to the World Trade Center, I think. Whereas if you're going into in the Metro North service, heading down the New York Harlem line to Grand Central, obviously you're going to see the New York skyline more, and the One World Trade Center in that area of like New Jersey. So this is the Harlem River Terminal. Yeah, this is good. I like the atmosphere too. I mean, I'm sure it's not meant to be this quiet, you know, with the birds sounding off. It's probably meant to have like lots of police sirens and cars and everything and beeps and all that kind of stuff. Usual sounds a city would make. There's those weird stream textures again, but again, the area looks good. Looks fantastic, tremendous. We've even got a bridge here going over the facility. That wasn't there before, that's for sure. And there's Hellgate's Bridge in the distance. So at least that's been remodelled. That's good. Looks good from a distance. There's even a soccer field here, by the looks of it. A little play area, a little park maybe. No, it definitely wasn't there, but wow, they've done a tremendous job with the freight side of things when it comes to scenery. Absolutely magnificent. And what's cool is that, in theory, these tracks go all the way down here. So in theory, you could go right to, you could run right alongside the Harlem River and trundle all the way down there if you want. Don't know why you would, but that option is there, I suppose. There's no signals to stop you. And here's the trash trains waiting to be picked up or unloaded, offloaded by trucks, a barge, I imagine, that would come through here in real life. Obviously isn't modelled, but what a difference. What an unbelievable difference compared to the original. That is miles better than what I was expecting. Miles better. Wow, what do I say? Okay. Do I think this route is worth £32.99 or what's the currency in the US? Let me just check. Yeah. Well, there was something. Let me check. Yeah, $45 it's at. So this is a very expensive route. I do not think it is worth that price. There's absolutely no way. As good as this route can look at times, nowhere near worth $32.99. Absolutely nowhere near. I think the density of the route is much better than I was expected. That is for sure. It is shorter. I mean, it's a combination of like old routes, a new section, and a really, really old route that's risen from the dead, all mangled together to become, a 54-mile route. But I think the rolling stock, the M8 is okay. It does the job. I think the sounds are decent. It could be touched up a little bit better. The Amtrak ACS 64 is the same as it has been. The SD40-2 has been touched up a little bit. I think some new sounds, like new from the ground up sounds, would be lovely. Some running sounds in particular, traction motors, all that kind of thing. That would be lovely. The new horn it's got is certainly a positive. I think the variety of things you can do on it is the biggest positive I could say about this route. The freight is a marvellous surprise, and the scenery in particular is way better than what I was expecting. I was expecting to be a step forward, but not that much of a step forward. The passenger services is a lot of variety as well. Deadhead runs, depot moves. The Metro North side of things, you got variation in services, where you stop, how many stops you have on a certain route, service, different terminating points, etc., etc. And obviously the big stations of New York Penn and Grand Central Terminal look as okay as they always have been, I suppose. Not magnificently good, but good is in terms of dovetails good. They get the job done. So I think this is I don't think it's the best iteration of the Northeast Corridor I've seen in Train Sim World, but it's far from the worst, and that's definitely for sure. So I think I will give this a very solid 7 out of 10. Performance as well is way smoother than I was expecting. Much better. No blurry textures in sight, which is fantastic. So I do recommend you pick this up if you're into the Northeast Corridor stuff, but at a very heavy discount, that is for sure. The price is just ludicrous to me. But that concludes my first look at the Northeast Corridor Metro North. We finally got around to doing it. Taken nearly 3 hours, but well, worth diving into, that's for sure. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Take care.